Mathematics Class 8 Chapter 22 Data Handling by Zainab Bohri.
Hello dear friends. Welcome back to the Mathematics Class 8. You are with Zainab Bohri. Today we are going to start the sixth theme of our mathematics syllabus, data handling. It has two chapters, 22 statistic or data handling and 23 probability. Let us start the chapter number 22, statistics or data handling. Dear students, what is mean by statistics or data handling? It is used in the two senses, singular sense as the whole branch of mathematics which is dealing on the study of collection of numerical data, processing it, analyzing it, representing it and interpreting it. While in the plural form, it implies collection of data in the systematic manner. For example, collection of population information, taxes information, rainfall of any place or weather of the country, climate of any region, etc. Let us study some basic definitions related to the data handling. Here we go to understand what is meant by data. So, data is nothing but the information or fact collected in the form of numbers. For example, height of the 10 students in class 8. Here, always remember when we are collecting data or information, it is individual. So, if any number gets repeated, we have to consider it repeatedly in collecting data. Second definition is tabulation of data. Tabulation of data means after collecting the data, when we are arranging it in the systematic manner in the table form is called as tabulation of data. Frequency of data. Frequency is defined as the number which explains us the information of a number appeared in the given set of data. Next definitions are raw data, arrayed data and frequency distribution. Let us see them with few examples. Raw data, arrayed data, frequency distribution. Let us define each one. Raw data. The data recorded in the original form is called as raw data. For example, result of 7 students out of 10 marks in a class test is recorded as 9, 5, 8, 5, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4 and 3. Let us define arrayed data. If the given data is arranged in ascending or descending order of their magnitudes, it is called as arrayed data or simply an array. For example, previously collected data of the 7 students can be arrayed in the ascending form as 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. Frequency distribution. The data which is arrayed is arranged in a tabular form showing the frequency of each number or observation is called as frequency distribution, and the table which is formed after arrangement is called as frequency distribution table or simply frequency table. Here, the previously collected and arrayed data is distributed in the table with its frequency as marks and frequency. Marks 3 appear one time, 4 appeared one time, 5 appeared 3 times, 7 appeared one time, 8 appeared 2 times, 9 appeared 2 times. So frequency distribution table is shown here. Let us construct a frequency table for the given data. First step, write all the information in the ascending or descending order. Then the information as per required way distributed in each column. Frequency is headed by tally marks, that is short vertical lines called a stroke. Marking of stroke is done as repeated frequency appearing 1 time, 2 time, 3 time and 4 time. And the fifth stroke is given across the first and 4, which gives bundle of 5 strokes. And this way marking of stroke completes. Based on it, we can write down frequency in the column headed frequency. When any information is given in the large amount, then we can construct the frequency table by considering the grouping of given data. This is called grouped frequency distribution. Let us study how to distribute data with grouped frequency and related definitions. Exercise 22A, question number 4. Following are the marks obtained by 30 students in an examination. Here we are going to prepare grouped frequency distribution table. Some basic rules we have to keep in mind at the time of grouping data. First, choose the classes. Here, normally we can choose the classes as per need. Then we have to choose the class width. Always we have to choose the class width in the rounding up number to the next whole number. And third important thing, mutually exclusive class limits. It means class limits cannot be overlapped or be contained in more than one class, as explained here in example. Observe an example showing grouped frequency distribution. In this frequency distribution, the mark 20 is included in the class interval 20-30 and not in 10-20. Same way, we can take each upper class limit in the consideration. Some important terms. Lower class limits are the smallest numbers that can actually belong to the different classes. Upper class limits are the largest numbers that can belong to different classes, and class width is the difference between two consecutive lower class limits. Class marks can be calculated by finding midway between the lower class limits and upper class limits. Now it is time to solve exercise 22A.
in the different way. Here in this chapter, we are going to study the three methods of distributing or graphically representing data. First method, by drawing bar graph. So here we go to study how to draw bar graph.
Rachel has flower shop. She keeps record of her daily sell in the form of graphics. Every day she sells 40 tulips, 20 orchids, 60 daisies and 100 roses. She can graphically keep all the data in this way. In our day-to-day life, we often see the graphical representation of various data like temperature in the weather report given on the news channels. Or graphically, we can represent annual income percentage. Let us see first method of graphical representation, bar graph. A bar graph is the representation of set of data using bars of equal length and width depending upon the frequency and scale chosen. This graph, percent income of the year 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2016 can easily noted. Let us discuss certain rules during drawing bar graph. Rule number 1. Begin the scale with 0. Vertical y-axis and horizontal x-axis. We have to plot. Rule 2. The graph represents 1 unit length for one observation. 1 unit length can represent 10 or 100 observations as per need. Third rule. The difference between each observation should be the same. Rule number 4. End the scale with a value greater than the maximum value in the set of data. Here, the graph is plotted for the cell of Rachel's flower shop. On x-axis, variety of flowers and y-axis, the cell is taken. Overall data is plotted at the unit distance on both the axes. As per cell, we can plot bars on the graph. Tulips 40 flowers, orchids 20 flowers, daisies 60 and roses 100 sold maximum, while orchids are sold minimum. Let us draw bar graph for the number of shoes sold by shoe store in the different weeks. First week 50, second week 75, third week 40. First we will plot x and y axis. Scale we will take on x axis 2 cm is equal to 1 week and on y axis 1 cm equal to 20 objects. We will plot all the data at the unit distances. Now we will draw bars according to given data. So week 1 is 50, week 2 is 75 and week 3 is 40. There should be uniformity in overall drawing of bars. That is, width of bars and the distance between the two consecutive bars should be same. Let us practice to draw one more graph. Here, marks scored by Rahul is given in the test. Maths 75 marks, Science 70 marks, Social Science 55 marks and English 60 marks. First we will draw x and y axis. On x axis, each 2 cm will be plotted for one subject. And on y axis, we will take 1 cm is equal to 20 marks. We will mark up to 80 marks. First subject mathematics 75 marks. Second is science 70 marks. Third is social study 55 marks. And fourth is English with 60 marks. Each of the bar is at equal distance and of equal width.
Dear friends, the second method is joint bar graph. Let us study how to draw joint bar graph.
When two bar graphs are drawn side by side, which help to compare the two sets of data collected. Here, Rachel's shop and Max's shop of flower sell is compared with the graph, which is joint bar graph or double bar graph. Let us draw double bar graph. Draw x and y axis. Then mark all the scales on x and y axis respectively as per given information. Plot the graph for Rachel cell and Max cell side by side with the different bars, which is represented as double bar graph or joint bar graph. Same rules are followed for drawing joint bar graph or double bar graph as that of bar graph. In this type of graph, information can be represented by the different color bars for easy comparison. Or we can use different signs for each set of information. Let us study one example showing plotting of double bar graph. Let us practice one more example from the textbook exercise 22b to practice how to draw joint bar graph. Question number 10. In this question, we have to plot double bar graph showing the price in the different shops A and B. Let us draw x and y axis. Scale on x axis 2 cm is equal to 1 item and on y axis 1 cm is equal to 200 rupees. We will take up to 1000 on y axis. First we will plot all the bars for A shop and then all bars for B shop. This way, information from the two different places of the same kind we can compare by using double bar graph.
Before ending the lesson, let us study in the detail how to draw pie graph.
A pie graph is obtained when numerical data is represented by the sector of a circle. Let us draw a pie graph for describing the data about animals in chimpanzee zoo. If you will write random information, it will be difficult to understand. Instead, the same information if you will plot on the circular area by using properly measured sectors of the circle, we can easily understand the count. As in chimpanzee zoo, giraffe are 10%, tiger are 15%, leopards are 25%, elephants are 20% and zebra are 30%. For drawing pie chart, first we have to tabulate the information and calculate the central angle. As we know, angle around the point is 360 degree. We will distribute all data with respect to this central angle. Let us prepare a table for the given games. Percentage of the students playing different games can be converted as a fraction. Then, for finding central angle, we will multiply this fraction with 360 degree to calculate the angle suitable for each information. Now we will draw pie chart. First, we will construct a circle with the center. Then, we will join any point on the circle with a radius. Now, from this radius, we will draw central angle 90 degree, representing percentage of students playing football. Now we will draw second sector to show percentage of students playing cricket. We will draw an angle of 180 degree with the previous radius and color it. Also label it. Next sector we will draw with the angle 18 degrees. Join the radius and color it. Label it as a badminton played by 5% students. Lastly, remaining part represents angle of 72 degree for tennis played by 20% students. Let us take quick recap for all the steps for drawing pie chart. First, convert the data into fractions. Second, multiply the fractions by 360 degree to obtain value in degrees for drawing sector. Third, draw a circle of suitable radius. Fourth step, using a protractor, mark the angles of each sector to draw the sections of the pie chart. Fifth step, label the sectors and complete the pie chart.
Let us solve few examples from exercise 22b.
Exercise 22b, question number 2. Mr. Mirza's monthly income and his expenditure in the different way is given with the savings, which is amounting total 7,200. For calculating central angle, we will divide each value with the 7,200 and multiply with the 360 degree to get central angle. Now, let us plot pie chart. Draw a circle of appropriate radius. Mark the center and join it with any point on the surface for drawing a radius. Now, construct the first sector with the 90 degree. As a result of calculation, and mark the sector, color and label it. Now, the second sector with the angle 135 degree we will plot using protractor. Similarly, the next angle of 45 degree we will plot for drawing the sector. Similarly, with the radius of previous sector, we will draw 60 degree central angle of the next sector. And the last part of remaining is the 30 degree. This way we can complete the presentation of data using pie chart. Here is the fourth question of the exercise, in which the brand of the product with the different number of buyers is given. The value is given in the percentage. First we will prepare a table for calculating central angle, and then by drawing a circle of appropriate radius, all the values we will plot using protractor one by one.
I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Keep on studying.